In this lesson, we're going to break down that Delta blues sounding rhythm by slowing things down and getting inside the strumming pattern beat by beat. Premium members have access to additional lesson materials that cover the second half of this arrangement in a slow video tutorial, plus downloadable PDF and Guitar Pro tab files, and the incredibly useful SoundSlice interactive tab player for this lesson, plus many, many more. And you'll have access to the entire library of premium lessons. If you're not already a premium member, you can find out how to join at the link in the description. Now, slap a capo on the 3rd fret and let's get on with the lesson. We're playing this with a capo on the 3rd fret, so I'm going to refer to all the frets as if this is now the open string at the 3rd fret. Okay, so we're going to play out of an E position here, E chord shape, and what we're doing to kick us off is kind of a power move. We're going to get under the 6th string and we're going to pluck out and away from the body of the guitar, giving us that cool snap. And then I'm really going to continue with a thumb and index finger picking style here. These other fingers, just kind of make sure that they stay out of the way if you're playing it with this style, or if you choose to use another finger, that's totally cool. But the sound that we're after is the open 6th string with that snap, and then for beat 2, we're going to come down and strum through the top 3 strings under our E chord here. And I really like to do this with the top part of my fingernail, just to kind of get a lot of attack on this. And then I'm going to brush back up on the and of 2. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's more happening at the back half of this measure. So what's going on? 1, 2. All right, so what we did for beat 3 is played the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and we can also play that with that snapping sound. 1, 2, 3. Then a brush up through the top 3 strings. But check this out. When I did that brush up, top 3 strings, now I've moved off of the fretboard. My hand still has contact with the neck, right? I'm just moving my fingers up and out of the way. I want the top 3 strings open. Just a cool little breath, right, on the upstroke. And then we're going to finish up beat 4. Another snapping move with the thumb, followed by a brush up. All right, so we're snapping as we hammer on from the open 4th string up to the 2nd fret, and then finish with our brush up. So let's look at this played slowly. All right, see how we're only using 2 fingers, thumb and index here? Now let's speed things up. All right, now that we've got the main riff and the rhythm down, let's take a look at what we're going to do over the chord changes. The chord that we're going to be playing is an A7 chord shape, but it is actually a C7 because we've got the capo on. So we're going to make that by barring across the 2nd fret, and go ahead and bar across all 4 of the top strings. So that's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you'll see why in a minute, although that sounds a little pretty for a blues song. Right now what we're going to do is put that G on top, but still have that bar. We're going to use that note in our little melody. So you just want to go ahead and have it so that you're not trying to rebar when you hit that, that 2nd fret note. All right, so here's what's happening with our strumming. We're starting with the thumb going down and then a brush up through the top 3 strings and then down with that index finger, the nail kind of giving us that pick-like strum. Then I'm going to use, and you could go to the 5th string here, but I like moving to the 4th string for a bass note, as it were. And then after that, with the thumb, I'm going to reach up to the 5th fret. Again, 5th fret above the capo here. And I'm going to play the top string at that 5th fret. and do that same brush up. Back to the 4th string bass and then back to the A7 shape. Then brush up, and this is where we're picking up and playing the 2nd fret. 2 brush ups real quick. One with the 2nd fret and then one back at our bluesy A7. And then bass and then pick up, and you're going to brush up through the top 2 strings. It kind of finishes the melody and gives you a chance to move back into the E chord shape. And that's where the tune is going. All right, once more. The only thing that we haven't covered in the main progression here is what do we do when we go to the 5 chord. We've covered the G chord, we've covered the C7 stuff, and when we move up to D, we're going to do a lot of similar moves to what we just covered over our C7 chord. So let's have a look at how we fit our 5 chord into this arrangement. Very similar moves to what we did over our 4 chord C7. We're going to move up to the 4th fret above the capo and hold that same position for a D7. And that's the rhythm that we're doing. Watch closely for the strumming pattern. And then we're going to drop down and brush up twice under the C7. And then open. Kind of let those 2 open strings give us that breath that we're looking for to change back into the main riff. If you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to go deeper and grab those additional lesson materials, you can sign up and become a member of BGI at the link right over there. I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.